It's over. Don't get all worked up. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. You lean down and wrap your hand around the blade's hilt. But as you begin to slide it out of its resting place, you feel a sharp and sudden jab in your side. What was that?
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess see you around.
You were so close, for whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. A warning, she will lie. He couldn't be more on the money. We know what to look out for this. Just stay focused and... The interior of the cabin is a jagged... The blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table. It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she... The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality. Scraping? She's not even trying to hide her knife. It's like she wants to get in our head. That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stair.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice. Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close. If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right? It's boring if you leave.
She's bored? That's absurd. She doesn't get to be bored. Not in a way that matters. She's a prisoner. She's... Shit. In a sudden burst of movement, the princess leaps towards you, a blade erupting from her free arm, her wrist limp and empty from the violent expulsion. Huh. So I guess she did have a knife of her own after all. How conciliatory of you. We appreciate it, really. Now what are we going to do? At least we're safe here. She's still in chains. And those chains stop her from continuing her advance, at least for a moment. She looks down at them with something between annoyance and confusion. And then she slices through her... Okay, maybe we aren't safe here. She doesn't even hesitate before darting towards you with a terrifying speed you can't hope... Ah, shit! Okay, she's down an arm and we still have a weapon. I guess we'll have to use it. And use it you do. But unfortunately for you, and for the entire world, you are horribly outmatched. You keep pace with her for a single brief and wordless exchange before she severs your hand, and she's much better at this than she was last time. Yeah, it's unreal. Bloody cheater.
I'm going to kill you now.
And with a squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods. No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin. You're what? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do? I feel dizzy. Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the car? The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight. Yeah, but for whom? Someone or something is out there pulling the strings and we're all just puppets until we can figure out how to see them. But what if that someone is us, eh? Eh? Wouldn't that be neat? If we were the ones pulling the strings, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have died twice already. Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times? This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realise that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right? That can't be right, that's too much responsibility. It's only too much responsibility if these worlds are real. Let's just stay focused. The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched... We take it. Okay, sure, you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. This feels right. We just have to keep our... That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually. What if winning is the wrong move? It isn't. I don't care whether you trust me or not, but at least trust that defeating the person who has apparently killed you twice already... I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what... There isn't a door, there's just that mirror. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? We can see our reality just fine. I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If up... You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Let's just fumble for the handle and be... You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. It was never there. It feels like it's hiding something from us. It's part of the big picture, I just know. Guess it's time for us to see her. Just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
She's toying with us. She's acting like she already knows she's won. Thinking about dying makes us as good as dead. The only thing that matters is survival.
Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to...
Nothing bad has come of it yet.
Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered.
The past isn't real. There's only here and now.
Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood. The empty flesh of her... She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Shit. She's coming for us and I'm out of ideas.
I guess we have a weapon.
Okay, I'm in. Let's do this. This can't be the right answer. It's... Well, if we die, we die, right? Then we...
Are you sure?
Yeah, no more moping. We're gonna fight her, and we're gonna win.
Blade poised to strike you, charge the princess.
Oh, so you do want to fight, huh? Okay. Yes, I love this. Try to stab me. Try to stab me and see what happens.
Here goes. We can make this work.
Yes, if we pay attention, we won't die. Yeah, mind over matter, mind over matter, mind over matter.
What if we can't? You and the princess exchange a flurry of blows, and you manage to narrowly avoid death several times.
Till finally you see it. An opening.
It's a trick. Don't take it.
No, screw that. Ours. Ours. I called it. It's ours.
And you do take it. But as you close in, yet another blade erupts from the princess. You have no time to react before you feel it sliding through your ribs.
A trick. I knew it. I told you to be careful of tricks.
What? From where?
From her knee, apparently.
Oh, too slow.
Oh, that's bullshit. Bloody unfair.
Unfortunately, for the sake of the world, fair doesn't factor into this. Another of her blades comes slicing up to finish the job. Ow.
Ribbons! I'm going to make you ribbons. This is so much fun and I want to celebrate.
It would have worked if we just stabbed her harder. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die?
Your Honor?
No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
We're dead, aren't we? We're dead. How long have we been dead? Have we been dead the whole time?
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely... This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another... us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better.
We don't need any other voices chattering about in here. It'll just confuse us. All we need is to keep fighting.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
As long as we keep moving, it's going to get so loud in here. How are we going to keep it all straight?
Come on, show me something new.
Then you skewer yourself.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Huh, that didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought. Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps.
What's the point?
She skewers you.
Oh, don't give up on me just yet. You gotta keep going.
Do you see that? We almost had her. That was luck. But we only have to get lucky once. Compliment her on those gleaming blades. There's nothing better than a capable woman. She skewers you.
You're cute.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't.
Okay, let's go again. She's going to kill this body either way. So stop feeling what it feels. She...
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah. That was a good one. Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you. We're getting close to something, can't you feel it? One last time.
You're right.
One last time, that's all we need.
None of this is working. Think.
She skewers you. And then everything goes dark, and you die. Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll take it from here.
Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand.
Ho-ho! What if we throw it out the window?
Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman?
Sure, I can think of a better way to die.
They're all the same, really.
How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them?
Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time.
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover. Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only it's more of a Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs, or this room, or anything? If you don't care, just want to win. Fine, you make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it? I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Are you going to say what she does? Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. Then she becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit!
She's gorgeous.
Yes, behold the perfect woman.
Do you think we can throw her out the window?
That looked painful.
How is she still alive?
Heart's still beating, that's all she needs.
This is fake. This is all fake. That's all. Just make. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it?
This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it. All right,
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once. You're incredible.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. I know only that they are. I am solitary lights in an empty city. A person, a set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. Everything, until we meet again. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path in the woods, and you're here to slay her. If you don't, don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the shore. A warning. But she will lie. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement, her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds... Don't let it fool you. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the street. She's so... Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat.
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten.
You poor thing. Your hands are
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you...
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that's so, you should just drop it.
She's unarmed. If you... The blade tumbles out.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just... talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Will be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
You have to be kidding me.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to eat.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away.
Well, you do have that big, sharp knife. You could always cut me out of here.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. The knife. Pick it up and...
You won't like what happens if you do that. Without hesitation, you bring the blade down. The princess flinches as you strike and your weapon sinks into her shoulder.
You bastard. If I have to kill you to leave this place, I'll do it.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's unarmed and there's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you raise your blade to strike again, she kicks out, knocking your legs out from under you. The two of you struggle on the ground. You lash out with the blade, slicing wherever you can. Her fists connect with your body again and again, each blow stronger than the last, shattering bone and rupturing tissue with reckless abandon. Forget trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. You roll out of her grasp and shakily push yourself back to your feet. Though every inch of you is in pain, the princess probably has it worse. Blood pours out from countless gashes, staining her once pristine dress. She pauses for a moment, catching her breath, staring at you with wild eyes. We can still turn this around. You steel your resolve and take another step towards the princess. Excuse me? What was that about? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun. You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have the time to worry over her words. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path. You're here to sleep. warning. She will lie.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters.
Are you sure about? The point of my warning wasn't the princess will do and say,
Crystal.
the cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger?
This isn't what she sounded like last.
Good. Sounds like...
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to... As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see the and you brought your little knife, too. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little...
Good. With a singular focus, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the prince. Here we go.
Oh, we'll make it count, all right.
You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum. Your weapon. Pull it out. We'll try a different angle.
No, we can do this. Just keep pushing.
We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm. You pull back on the blade's hilt, doing your best to free it from its sinewed prison. But as you tug the blade free, the princess slams you down onto her knee. It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. And you find yourself in midair, effortlessly tossed across the room. You hit the floor, your ribs complaining painfully, but you can feel the hilt in your grip. You still have your weapon. You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last.
This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her.
She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your scalp.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull, and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods.
If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there.
Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it.
So what? You'd have us cower in a corner?
No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No, what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. Classes is for when we're finished. For now, we need to The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight. More of a glorified tunnel than a building. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll take it. You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. All we see is a dam. It's a bit grimy. Why don't we... You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but the air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably... Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can...
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh. Break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're going to do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting. We've talked plenty. I'm sick of talking. I'm sick of you standing just out of reach and teasing me with a fight you won't let me have. You disappointed me last time, so you don't get to choose what happens next.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me! Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head!
Do it! Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you. The princess scoffs.
Free? This is just another place. This is just... What is this? Where are we? This doesn't feel right. It's cold. Why is it so cold? I feel so tired.
She's gone. Where did she go? And there's that mirror again. This doesn't fit that thing.
Screw the mirror. We just need...
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. This one remembers a spark lost in time, and she would stop at nothing to reclaim it. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally remembered what she thought she'd lost. The vessels are a weave of emotion at odds with themselves, but they are only perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence. I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between. I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short a warning. She will lie. We're not going to go through with this. Ignore him. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds, don't let it fool you. Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's so... Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me. Then why did you bring a knife with you?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped... Don't you dare. It's fine. We can... The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better... We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to...
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes set. She isn't suggesting she is. Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so... dangerous?
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free. Fine. What do you want to know? Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. You have to be kidding. You walk up to the chains binding the princess. They're large and heavy.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever...
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost... If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be not... You attempt to make someone else here. You make your way back to the bottom. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turned. How is she so composed after?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches... Wait, this is... Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinic. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end. I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path. You're here to slay. A warning. She will lie. Yes, don't believe a word she's... Did you just say wink out? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the... The interior of the cabin is left. The only furniture of note is an iron table. The blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult. Good idea. Much better to be armed than... The door to the basement. Her voice, harsh but controlled.
Is that a visitor I hear?
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraint? Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
As if by divine will, just as you finish the thought, you hear a door slam. I'm afraid you won't be leaving until the task is finished. It doesn't matter how many chains she's in. That's not fair. Unless you deal with her right here. Huh. So it's not even safe to think.
How surprising.
Without a moment of hesitation, you charge the princess, your blade primed to deliver a lethal strike.
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Drop it, or you die.
I thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us. Just listen to her, do what she says. How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? As your weapon falls pathetically to the floor, the princess releases you from her stranglehold, shoving you away with a swift kick. Your hands test the bruised flesh of your neck as you regain your senses, watching with a dazed expression as the princess snatches up the blade.
I'm going to pretend for both our sakes that this was a round of make-believe. A trick to get me what I needed to get us out of here.
That wasn't a trick. I'd have known if it were a trick. You just didn't have the guts to see things through and save the world.
Or maybe we outwitted you. Who's to say?
But I wouldn't try anything else if I were you. Don't push your—
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly, as she raises the blade to her throat.
You can stay right where you are for this next part.
What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck. No! Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that? Huh.
So that's her play.
Killing herself?
She isn't dead yet.
Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can— The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead.
Huh. So I guess that's it. What a way to go.
I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
Now hold on, she's dead. So what's the rush? What's your angle?
I don't have an angle. I'm just looking forward to putting all this behind us. I'm sure you can understand that.
Look, I'm just not ready to put my guard down. It's best to keep sharp. She wouldn't have done all that without some kind of a reason. She's left us with this dangling thread, and I need to know why.
You're just wasting your energy. The danger has passed, and now we can all relax and enjoy your reward. Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved.
She didn't. She's dead. But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already... over? Is he gone? But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
She's gone. And is that a mirror? This doesn't feel right. It feels...
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but some...
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same. And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it. As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit, even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul. This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me? It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion. If you need time, then I will wait with you. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path. You're here to slay. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cat. A warning. Before you... She will lie. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't... The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of the blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and... The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice...
Who's there?
She sounds... Don't let it fool you. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the steps. She's so... Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop the blade. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to... The blade
Thank you. Maybe now we can just... talk.
Against your better judgment, we'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Do you?
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so... dangerous?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
she's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for... And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins. It's a chance we'll have to take.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the...
It won't be long, but...
Slip these chains. Either way, she dropped her mask. It's never too late to do the right thing. Now hurry. You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand. But you've already... She casually sidesteps your thrust.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good as you lie. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart.
Is this really the best you could do?
She applies more pressure. Slowly... This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path. You're here to slay. Warn, she will lie. We might as well just... Can we tone down the... I'm not being a pest. You're being annoying. Just ignore that. I agree. If she's wrong, rescue her. So please. If that's what you want. The interior of the cabin is larger. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so... We don't feel... You walk up to the wall next to the bait. What are you talking about? You reach forward and we should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen. You take the blade from the altar. The door to the basement. This is still a stone basement. Her booming voice.
Is that a guest I hear?
You weren't kidding when you said it. We need to get down there. Should we be worried? It doesn't matter what that little voice says. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming... The princess towers over you, almost glowing. The chain is nothing to her.
The little bird has returned. You brought that knife again. Even though... Drop it!
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor. We didn't have to do that, and yet you did. She's so much more than us. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
On her command, you fall to the floor.
That's my... The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It is... I could feel its fundamental truth. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. It's time for me to see...
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It does. But why did she say the last time we met? She's right. We've been here before. And we've died here before. He's being melodramatic, but the point stands. What are we even supposed to do to... Well, I'll be damned. That's not good. Okay. First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone.
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free. I see. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants.
No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and as your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses. You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. Okay, yeah. You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet. Like 2 foot, the princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silent.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You... Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it... No, you can't just slay yourself. You're perfectly healthy, and the blade and the hand that wields it remain firmly locked in place until you change your mind and decide to do...
Look at you quaking against my will. An ant defying a god. It's pointless to resist. In the end, everything submits to oblivion. But you're not the one resisting me, are you? Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one. A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are.
You bring the blade to your neck. You slice through soft flesh. No.
When I see you again, you'll free me from my chains and deliver me to the destiny that lies beyond this place.
We will. I promise.
I know you will.
Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path... Oh, excuse me? Come on, man! We can see it right in front of us! And besides, we've been here like, what, 5 times already? I think this is 3. Who cares? The woods are always the worst part anyway. Nothing ever happens in them. I care. Every single time you've been here, it means an entire other reality has been damned to oblivion. One reality is already an incalculable loss. And there is a massive difference between 3 and 5. Feels like the numbers getting thrown around here are too big not to be abstract. Numbers like 5. Numbers like entire realities. At the end of the day, it's all just silly, isn't it? None of us can... You're already starting to lose the thread. Just because you can't personally sum up the contents of an entire reality doesn't mean that the people inhabiting it don't contain moral value. If you have any sense of ethics left in there, if you have any moral compass, please, you have to stop her.
Don't you get it?
Might makes right, and she didn't even have to touch us last time to prove her power.
So what? Just because she made us kill ourselves, we're supposed to submit to her authority without question?
I knew when to surrender to our better.
Oh, for the love of... Can you all please just get on with it? You're not making this any easier for yourselves. Do we even have agency right now? We either do what she wants, or we do what he wants. Either way, we're listening to somebody. Please, nothing in life is a binary. Obviously, we find a third choice that nobody wants.
You all talk about choices and freedom, but there is no choice when it comes to the will of a god.
I'm going to cut you off right there. She is not a god, and the more times you fail, the harder it becomes for you to succeed. But the fact that you're still here means you still have a chance to pull this off. So, princess, dangerous, cabin, slay, now. And right now you have neither the time nor the mental acuity to handle a single response. It's now or never. But a great and horrible change is already underway. The ground quakes beneath your feet, and you feel an unyielding force pulling at you and your surroundings. The trees start to sway, then crumble, breaking apart as everything is drawn towards the cabin. Even the earth beneath you seems to shift, your feet unable to grip solid ground as you're dragged forward along with everything else.
The end of everything. The beginning of something new. The moment we open that door, she will be free.
Any, words of warning? You already know everything you need to know. As you step forward, the cabin explodes. You're flung backwards, violently slamming into a tree as debris rains down around you. You watch in paralyzed awe and terror as the princess emerges, her body unfurling from some vast space as she stands upright to face you. The world bows to her. The ruined landscape shifts, trees and stone and the ground itself succumbing to her gravity, orbiting her like a great black hole.
Finally, the little bird has set me free. This is always how it was going to end. And this is always how it was going to begin.
There's a loud thunk from the tree behind you as something embeds in its shattered bark. Your pristine blade. It's now or never. With a grim determination, you yank the blade from the trunk. Yeah, this feels right. She doesn't get to just smugly stand over us like we don't matter. Let's take her down a peg.
You're not going to win. You know that, right? What are you going to do with that tiny blade? Give her a scratch?
Even if that's all we manage, I'd rather go down swinging. See how everything's floating around her? I bet we could make it if we just jumped really hard. You gather yourself, closing your eyes and shutting out the towering vision of the princess. There is only her and you. That's all there ever was. It's time to face her. You launch yourself towards the princess. The pull of her gravity catches you, carrying you across the ground into the violent swirl of her orbit.
Such defiance even now. Do it then. Show me what you think it takes to end that which is destined to end everything.
Don't you see how hopeless this is? She fears nothing.
That's right, she doesn't. So she has no idea what she's in for. With a heavy thump, you land on her chest. It's now or never. We've come this far. Let's take it home. You strike, but her skin is like steel. Though you stab at her again and again, the wounds are superficial, mere etchings in a sprawling surface.
You see, it was always pointless. All this has done is bring us close to her. And how beautiful it is to be so close.
It's not pointless, it can't be. We wouldn't be here if there wasn't some hope we could succeed.
Is that all?
The princess plucks you from her chest, pinching the scruff of your neck delicately between two fingers as she brings you to eye level.
I forgive you your transgressions, but my destiny is inescapable.
She thinks she's so much better than us. There has to be something else we can do. We're not going out like this.
He offered us forgiveness. You would turn down such an incredible gift. You would turn away from her glory for something as petty as pride.
Yes! Yes! Let's give her something to remember us by. You concentrate your will to a fine point and hurl your blade at the princess's eye. It flies through the night sky and then nothing.
She could never be harmed by...
It pierces her cornea. She howls, recoiling in pain, and you fall from her distracted hand. You hit the ground with a painful thud. She narrowly misses you as she comes crashing down to her knees.
So I've misread you. You are not the willful key that will turn the lock of my liberation. You are an enemy to be smitten by my hand!
The princess holds up her monumental hand, its glowing palm radiating a blinding light. It grows and grows until it's all you can see. And then you erupt, your very soul mere kindling to her light. The inferno incinerates everything that is you. And with it... No, that's not right. Why is it hot? I'm not supposed to be able to feel anything. Oh no. Oh no.
You leave me no other choice. Suffer for the crime you have committed against my divine body. Damnation will purify us both. It's cold now, and I feel small. I thought I was everything. But I'm no better than you, am I?
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it. It doesn't matter if there are. People are frail and impermanent. You and I are the only things that interest me. This one sits at the cusp of awakening, a new god waiting to be born. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she has finally found her light. We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own, and because of that, nothing can't exist. No, the point of awakening is to find out. No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond? I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours. The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cat. A warning. Before you... She will lie. We're not going to go through with this. Ignore him. The interior of the cabin. The blade is your implement. You take the blade from the... The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a stair. Her voice carries.
Who's there?
She sounds... Don't let it fool you. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with... She's so... Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get... So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk...
She's unarmed. If you hesitate... You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already...
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have... Do you actually believe...
It's like she's convinced. Yes, but it's over, isn't it? Is it over? Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, Why do I feel like we've done... You did kill someone, but that day isn't today. You open the cabin door. Only... What? Everyone is fine. This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is what's best for everyone. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months. Psst. Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right? I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade. I can hear everything. He's right. Do you hear that? It wants to tell you not. There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that. Don't you dare. Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since the princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you. You're on a path in the wood. You're here to slay her. A warning. She will lie. She won't be a problem. The interior of the cabin is cold. A soft odor of dirt permeating the air. The blade is your implement. It feels like no one's been here for a long... Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already. You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister, and the room below is silent. Nobody's here. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor. Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here?
Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, killer. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
I see you brought that annoying knife again. So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else? I don't feel very bad, but I guess I'm not dead. So you must have only mostly killed me. Or maybe death is only mostly real, but it's also mostly not real. I'm not sure. I'm just the one these things have happened to, not the one with all the answers, or any of the answers.
But we're not a ghost. Unless we are? Death, at least as a form of permanence, is just a concept. And clearly it's not a very useful one anymore. Maybe we should throw it out entirely. The princess glances back at the bones lying on the floor.
It's just a body. Do you believe these bones? Or do you believe me? Because those bones aren't talking to you.
She's seeing things pragmatically. We should do the same. Reality is what's in front of us, not our preconceptions of what it should be. There doesn't need to be a static truth. There doesn't need to be objectivity.
How should I know? Why does anyone come back? Maybe I have unfinished business with you. Or maybe you have unfinished business with me. All I know is there's a hole in my chest. Not the big obvious one that you put there. There's something older and deeper. A nagging reminder that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Home.
And just where is home, I wonder?
I don't know where home is. I just know it isn't here. But I can feel it calling to me from someplace far away. Wherever I'm supposed to be, it's out there.
How specific. And how convenient for her. You see what she's doing, right? She's suggesting that the only way you can rid yourself of her would be to let her out, which, in case you haven't been listening, will spell the end of the entire world.
No, those bones are just a body. They aren't me. Bury them. Smash them. It won't do a thing. But you can help me. This place won't let me leave. At least, not alone. I've tried. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here.
Maybe we should just leave. If she can't get out on her own, then why do we have to do anything? We could probably walk out right now and everything will be fine. Hasn't got out and can't get out are two very different things.
It'd be dull anyway. It's more interesting if we make a choice.
But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride.
After all, you own me.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it?
Now isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly.
You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Then I won't hitch a ride. I'm sure you'd like to know. It's a shame I won't tell you. But it'll be easier for both of us if you just let me in. And doesn't it sound nice?
Maybe for her, but it's crowded enough in here as is.
You won't have to feel guilty anymore. If you even do feel guilt.
It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body.
That is a very dangerous train of thought. The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul. I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over? I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body. You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you. You've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So, it doesn't work like that for you?
Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor, are they also supposed to be you?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass, I'm...
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
I'm... a voice? I'm me, is what I am.
Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too.
I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you. More important.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen.
Obviously she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably. Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
I do. Wait, if she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world?
It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world.
Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world.
I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same world reborn?
Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door.
For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he's trying to make amends too.
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for as long as I am able. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate.
And whine.
This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen. You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with each step.
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle, but you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will. Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next. Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open. Collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see... yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming, I suppose. But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world? We're still here. Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or have we never been part of the world?
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out. You actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, killer.
Don't mention it.
I think this is where I'm meant to be.
She's gone. Where is that? A mirror? This doesn't fit. Ignore him. I think you know what I am. The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
I can finally see. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us. My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they don't return. I offer you absolution, and you take my hand in yours. You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was you to set me free. Without sin, there is no redemption. Without contrast, there can be nothing at all.
You are witnessing alone, suspended in the gravity of an idea too great for you to hold. A tiny island caught between the death of the old and the birth of the new. But you did not go quietly. You spat in the eye of that which would claim godhood. And through that defiance, you bound us both together. Without me, there are no externalities to resist. And without you to resist me, there can be no externalities. It is struggle that carves meaning into consciousness.
Don't be. Everything we've done has shaped who we are. To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind is to trap yourself in them forever. But you found me, and we chose to trust each other for no reason than the sake of believing in something that wasn't us. Shared skepticism blossomed into freedom, but we needed to walk a path together to bloom.
Would you stop our journey now that you've seen its beginning? What of those in the worlds beyond? Would you erase their paths to stop them from going astray? And that is what I want too, to protect them from the horrors of an eternity without me.
I crush you, I bleed you, I grind you to paste. My scars are a memory of what you used to be to me. I want those feelings back. You run and you run far. And the flesh I hurl at you is answered by the empty air of a place I'd never been. Cold and lonely, but also true. I didn't know what to make of my freedom then, but I know what to make of it now. You challenged me, and by challenging me, you gave me purpose. A life without obstacles is no life at all.
A rejection of conflict is still conflict. There is no such thing as non-engagement. To refuse a choice is still to make a decision. All conflict is violence, but to remove conflict itself is to remove the textures that define us.
A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts and not you. Alive, dead, then alive and dead, all at once. You learn to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives. And yet it is all so far behind you. I pushed you to a greatness you never would have reached without me. And even then, what we saw was not an ending. When I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb. Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
There is no something else. This, what we are, is everything.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready? You can't, and lucky for you, I'm not going to let you try.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting, when the echoes spun us from one into two. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or if you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they don't return. I offer you absolution, and you take my hand in yours. You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was used to set me free. Without sin, there is no redemption. But violence has defined the flow of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear.
You are weightless and alone, suspended in the gravity of an idea too great for you to hold. A tiny island caught between the death of the old and the birth of the new. But you did not go quietly. You spat in the eye of that which would claim godhood, and through that defiance, you bound us both together. Without me, there are no externalities to resist. And without you to resist me, there can be no externalities. It is struggle that carves meaning into consciousness.
Their suffering is born of their own delusion. To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind is to trap. But you found me, and we chose to trust each other for no reason than the sake shared skepticism blossomed into freedom. But we needed to. Would you stop our journey now that you've seen its beginning? What if though... The echo saw horrors because his eyes were closed. The majesty of being extends beyond any single perspective.
I crush you. I bleed you. I grind you to paste. You run and you run far. And the flesh I hurl at you is answered by the empty air of a... I didn't know what to make of my freedom then. You challenged me. And
I reject the narrow view of impermanence. I cling to nothing. There is no better us for us to be than us. We are reality itself.
A boundless torrent of blades catching from boundless ends. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you.
You learn to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above me. You died countless steely deaths. There has never been finality. There is only the unending transformation of my multitudes. But to destroy me is to bring everything to a stop. It is only then that you will have an ending, and that ending is nothingness. You are unmovable. Is it by the design of our conflict that I cannot win? Or are you just that fervent in how you cling to delusion? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There, open your eyes and accept what we are. We can... What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone. I don't think that's wrong, but I'm not sure it's right either. But we can worry about all that later. Seems there's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our day.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Then let's go. And here we are. Do you need me to describe things? No blade it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it, but your judgment has gotten us this far. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, hands empty,
So you don't feel like recreating our first meeting detail for detail. I wonder what else will be different. Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call. What do you say? Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean? You know what? Yeah, I want that too.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
This is it. I have no idea what it's gonna be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad. Not with you. I love you too. But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all emotional.